Hello. We're gonna do opening repertoire creation in this today's stream. And if you want to just join me in the stream and have fun, you can just do this. Let's lay link. And once it goes up there, yep, going up to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So let's do this again for the people that want to have the link only. So this is you can have this invitation to go to the stream. So while people are joining the stream, I'll be just creating and basically adding on to the Catalan repertoire that we created for the last couple streams. But this is part 3, so let's see if I can add more to this one. But also need to have Leela up. So this is basically the backbone of the analysis, to have a supercomputer Leela to be, let's say, driving force of the analysis. So once I do that, add Leela to the mix, that'll be good to go. So preparing server, and once I do that, I'll be able to start the analysis. Okay, very good. Alrighty. So last time we talked about maybe maybe I need to do something like an add line to make sure that we cover every single base. We don't want to have anything be excluded. So, all right, this one we didn't talk about d takes d4. Did you do that? We did. Okay, my mistake. So maybe bishop b4 check is another. Yeah, bishop b4 check is an addition that we need to add on. So this is really, let's say, semi-common. So bishop b2 is what Leela likes. So I'll do that one. Bishop b7 is very super common by bigger margins. So let's do this one. Also, this is a bishop b6 move. I saw that once I lost to this move, and also a5 I've seen, but I'll just do everything. Bishop b6, a5, bishop takes d2. Let's cover those other things. So first of all, let's do the bishop e7 line. First of all, and once you get that one, we'll just move on to other ones. So, okay. Leela is debating between queen d2 and bishop 2. So let's say, maybe just go in the common way, bishop 2. Then they people just mostly castle or c6. Let's do both. Let's say this one and c6. But let's do castles first. We'll go back, recursorively back to the original. Let's say the very beginning of the branch. So we go castles, queen c2 as well. Queen c2 is a common thing move, but yeah, castles is fine. But then let's say there's taking c4 as okay. This is a move here. This knight b7. There's taking c4. Let's do them all. Let's do the most commonality move, c6. Now queen c2 is where I step in. Like, I agree, queen c2 is the move. Then they go b6 or b7. Let's do both. Again, both. Just like I want to have a full structure base. So let's do b6. Okay, rook d1, bishop b4. Let's see. Let Leela cook on this one a little bit, and let's see what she thinks is best. Hey, what app is this? This is a chess base. You mean the streaming software? It's called StreamYard. And yeah, it's a cool thing. But I can give you a link to the StreamYard if you want to have it. So, but I need to do something first, and I'll have you get a link for that right now. So hold on, I'll do that right now. But yeah, referrals. Okay, okay, add your link. Okay, copy. Okay. Okay, we have it. All right. All right. So this is the link for the StreamYard. Yeah, this is my link to StreamYard. So, yeah, check this out. Check this link out, and basically, I'm working with StreamYard in that sense. So if you just use the software, you can actually stream on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and a lot of other things. Not just these three. You can do LinkedIn. You can have various options that you can choose from. Instagram, and yeah, all at once in one, say, the central location, so you can see all the chats in the same window for the chat and interact with everything else. So that's fun. So hopefully I got the right link for that. So yeah, refer people. I referred you, so thankfully we'll be able to, well, have you get to this broadcasting service and have fun with that. So I wish you the best for this StreamYard. I use it all the time. I use it for the last 2.5 years. No, it's 3 years. So it's like today is my third anniversary for my YouTube channel. I got my first video published today, 3 years ago, and yeah, today's my third anniversary from streaming on YouTube and also creating videos on YouTube. So that is how I do it. So all right. All right. So this one, going back to chess. So Leela says bishop f4 or rook d1. Bishop f4 more so, but I think the more natural is like bishop, rook d1 rather. Yeah, rook d1. Knight b7 is by far the most popular, so let's do that one. Then bishop f4. So now it's like going transposing a little bit. Bishop b7. Okay, it's very popular. Let's do this one. Knight e5 is nice. Okay, knight c3. Let's Leela think about it a little bit, but it's like maybe knight c3 is looking at the second most popular move, and let's give it time, like maybe a minute to think about it. Thank you so much. Thank you for congratulating me for my 3 years. And okay, so I love to stream my 45 4 or 5 games. That sounds fun. Oh, what is 4-5-4-5 game? Like maybe you can let me know what is it. It's really interesting. Maybe it's like a bunch of games. Like there's a lot of games like 4,545 games, but yeah. But I wish you the best of the streaming, and hopefully, like StreamYard is the best. It's really good, better than OBS. OBS crashes sometimes. This is not crash ever. It's really good, really, let's say solid. Oh, it's Elite Just League. Elite Just League. Oh yeah, I know that 45 for like 5 league. Yeah. So yeah, you can definitely do that one. It's really cool and easy. You can do that. Yeah, sounds good. So that is definitely fun. 45 games. I remember doing a league on chess.com when they had it, but yeah, they were fun. Tough, but they were fun. Also, I maybe not chess.com, but I did that for ICC way back in the day, but I did that and it's really really good, let's say good time. So let's go back to the let's league chess. Let's do knight c3 because Layla likes it most. d64. Okay, let's say yeah, this is most popular. 92 is basically the only move. 95 is the only move from black. Let's say, okay, let's look at only move. Okay, very good. So this one, 964. 964 is normal. G takes f4. Looks scary, but not so scary. Queen c7 attack the pawn. This is a thing to look out for. But now we go e3. Cool move to do. Rook a d8. So there's a lot of options. So let's let Leela think about it for a little bit. So that's basically winning for things. But at any rate, I'm just doing this Leela approved, let's say Catalan opening for white. And but if you want to just talk about any other opening theory, you can jump on the show and just talk to me, and we can talk about what openings you want to learn, and we can do it together. And we can do collaboration and have Leela look at the opening you want to. So, but this is again it's a reference to join the stream and show if you want to, but you don't have to. You can watch me doing the preparation for the Catalan. But once I get this Catalan opening repertoire done, I'll be able to send out to my friends and people that are part of my group of followers and also subscribers, things like that. All right, is this one? I'm actually loving the Catalan today. Oh, very good. That's a perfect stream for now. This is a Leela. as a computer is people like very top players use it, like Fabiano Caruana, Wesley So, and Lava Neronian use this same exact, let's say, program of Chessify. They call it Chessify, and I use this Leela engine, so it's better than any computer engine you usually have, and it's miles better than the chess.com or Lee Chess engine. This is really, really better. And now rook a8, let's say, is played by black. Rook ac1. But we're going really in depth, so we'll just try to put a pause in it. So maybe it's like, oh, it's okay. White's better, so maybe. So rook ac1 is fine, looks like. c5 is natural. d5 is natural, so let's see. Okay, d5 is by far played by most people, dx and d5. So take the bishop, take the knight. Leela, show me the way. So just, it says you can do it anyway. So knight takes d5. This one. Rook takes d5, okay. There's a tempo that it's like not really tempo, but I wanted to develop maybe b5, basically, yeah. Like e5. Knight takes there. Rook takes there. Opposite colored bishops. They're definitely different colored bishops, so let's see how this goes. Bishop b6, attacking the rook. Let's see. Rook d5 looks natural. Rook d5, rook e4 is like games. Okay. Yeah, rook d5 is by far played. Bishop b7. Okay, the rook e5 is just drawing. We want to just this is annoying because this is you want to have a win for white. In the Catalan, you want to play for the win. So maybe something went wrong here. So something went wrong here earlier. So, but I think that maybe I'm just using my knowledge of chess and seeing what can I do better for Leela to make sure that Leela shows me the right lines to play for the win. So they do knight takes f4 rather. Take this one, queen c7. Okay, e3 f5. Okay, so let e3 of course, and rook d8. Okay, this is a point. This is a point we have to let Leo think. I played rook ac1, but it's drawish, so maybe something else has to be played to make sure we win. So that's why we're doing this studying. Starting to make sure we have a way to win is white always. Try to play for the win. The badge that we could try is white. Not drawing like repetition back and forth, but a way to, let's say, make black make mistakes and hopefully we can win. Okay. A3 is looking weird, but rook ac1 is natural, but c5 is annoying. Rook ac1 is most popular, c5. But maybe, yeah, maybe. This is the you see this point zero, like 0.1 is really drawish. Like it's not really good for us. So for Catalan players, you want to play for the win. So maybe let's go back earlier. But you know what? There's two moves. We just decided to go knight c3. But maybe knight e5 is more in the spirit of try to play for the win. So let's do knight e5 instead and say that this is the main move. So we have an improvement of the knight c3 line. Knight c3 line looks like a draw at the end of the day. So let's see if the knight e5 is more fighting for white. So knight h5 is very popular by far. So knight h5. And now we go bishop e2. Okay, popular. They can go back there, but it's really silly to go back and forth and have us have an extra move. So that's a good thing. Good progress. So we have extra time. So takes d5. She takes, yeah, only move. So the cool thing is now is only move. So the cool thing is that a lot of people will not play the only move. So they're going to be doing the bad things. So let's see why this is not working. So learning moment. So why is this not good? So it's bad because knight c6. Yeah, that's the problem. So the same thing as this one, new variation, is knight takes d6, right? Just lose a pawn. So they have to do take some d5 with a c pawn to have the c pawn be safe and away from danger. Now we can go knight c6 still. That's a cool thing. We can have knight c6 and we have the bishop pair. If they take this one, and rook c8 is really popular, so let's do that. And but I think that overall, I think that we're happy here versus the other one was really drawish. I think this is really we're happy here. So promote. Okay, queen a4 looks good, but let's Leela think a little bit. Okay. I think that queen a4, my thoughts, I'd play queen a4 in a real game. Queen a5 is looking exposed a little bit because they go knight e8, knight d6, attack the queen. So queen a4 would be my choice. So, but it's less popular. But this is a cool thing. It's less popular and less people prepare for it in that sense. So I'll just say after this one, so white has the bishop pair and an easier game. So that's a good thing. Advantage. It's a psychological advantage and also a real advantage. So that's a good thing to see. So let's go back a little bit to the point where we had this knight e5. All right, let's get rid of this one. Just delete this one. This is not good. Delete variation. Okay, let's go back a little bit and go back to where we had bishop 7 there, then the castles there. Okay, this is we had, I think, all right, this is, now let's see. Okay, we need to do knight b7 first. Knight b7 first instead of b6, but we could say that maybe the same thing happens, like it transposes a little bit, so rook d1, and now b6 is just transposing directly, so let's say if they go a5, differences, but we still go bishop f4, that's a good thing. So patterns, instead of knight h5, which is really maybe a4, and now knight e5, and again, general themes that we do all the time is Catalan opening. We go knight e5, and we have a bishop f4, and rook d1. This is always the common moves we play as white. That's a good thing. There's no confusing, just everything's good. Let Leela think for a little bit. I'll just save the file, and yeah, let Leela think about it. Okay. So Leela wants to do a3 most of all, but saying that maybe knight b2 and h4 is the third one. Knight e5 is also another one. I think that maybe because the black's wasted 2 moves for a4, maybe you can afford a3. Let's do the most popular Leela move, a3. All right, so people go knight e4 most of all. Okay, knight c3 or okay, that's fine. Knight c3. Okay. But one question is, what if knight df6, new variation? What is the problem with that? Okay, c5. Knight e5 as well. That's good moves. Okay. All right. So c5. c5 is really not typical, I think. I would think, but this is an engine, so maybe super engine rather. So maybe it's making a point exception that is we can do that now because it's really different and specific. All right, let's say knight takes e4, knight takes e4. Now c5. Okay, it's transposing to the c5 line, but yeah. f6. Let's say it's just. Let's see what the point is. Knight e1. Oh, knight e1 is a cool thing. Just doing this one. Maybe f3, attacking the knight and e4. Yeah, e5 is not possible because of these two pieces. Oh, maybe e5 is a move. Maybe e5 is a move. Maybe intention is this one. But it's important to do this knight takes bishop e4. So I want to just give it annotation of this one exclamation point. So it's a very important. So like, don't forget this important take on this knight here. All right. So it's a very memorable. You have to remember this one. Now we go d6 e5, and we win a pawn. And then you're also attacking the queen, because this is not just exchange. We're also winning a pawn. So this is a good, actually good thing. So that is that. So this is a good thing. So another thing I can say that what about f5? F5 here. What if they do some little, let's say, Dutch things, but knight takes e4 simply. Oh, okay, this is like this one. All right, this is silly. All right, let's do the main move. Knight takes e3. Okay, taking away the knight from the attacking the a4 pawn, so it takes the b pawn. Okay, taking c4, main move. I had 2 games, so knight e2. Better be 3. Knight b6. Knight f3. Oh, it goes back there. Oh yeah, it's taking the g5 pawn maybe. Yeah, make the knight really silly maybe. But yeah, and we can just conclude that white is generally better placed and has an easier game. Okay, that's good. Save it. It's really important to make sure you don't forget to save. Okay, so it's why is an early a4 generally not an D in the Catalan? So basically, the main moves are b6 in the. If you see the, let's say, the good question, but the general, if you see the I'll show you the database, and the database says there's common moves between everybody in the world. So, but this point it says okay, a5 is the second best, like most popular, but by a larger portion of people, they to go b6 and just transpose to the line we talked about before, which is b6 before knight b7. So we have looked at this. If you go earlier, b6 talk about this, all these things that we looked at. But now a5 is another move. We want to make sure that we don't forget about that. So we just take this one, and they do go a5, a4, but now we go a3, and it's just basically a way to play against this a5, a4 move. 2 moves. So we did 1 move to block him from going a3 and just being annoying. So that's why it's a move, but it's not as popular. But I covered this in this repertoire today, so we can know how to play against it. So now we're knowledgeable. We know how to do things. So, okay. Now we did c6. Let's do knight b7. This transposing. Maybe it's transposing. Queen c2. Then if it goes c6, it's transposing. Let's do. Is there any other moves? Let's do the go a5 already. a5. c5 is more. Let's see point. So let's say c5. c5 is another move. cd. Try to do Taras setup for black. Okay. Most popular is ED. Knight G3. Okay. Oh, okay. So B6. Yeah. Maybe B6. Maybe. Knight G5. Okay, Knight G5 is cool looking. Let's do this. Knight G5. Okay. Bishop B7. If they do this one is the if, then we just win with the Knight takes D5. Whammo! This is a really cool move. This one, I have to take with the bishop, and we just take the bishop because there's a checkmate here on H7. So they can't take with the knight because it'll be checkmate. So I'll just show you this one. It's checkmate. That'll be not good for black. So this is why we don't do this as black. This one is too much. So, all right. Okay. All right, now let's do the last thing is D takes D4. Queen C2, everything we do Queen C2. That's a good thing that we remember in your head. If they go C6, Knight B7, or takes in C4, we go always Queen C2. Let's see, B5. Let's see, B5 happens. A4 is normal. Knight E5. Okay, let's think a little bit. Debating between that and Knight E5. So yeah, basically answering this one, it's not a bad idea, but it's not popular. Most people don't play this way. But now this repertoire includes this move, and you can see how to play against that. So now we know why people don't usually do this, because we do the answer we showed. Now it's challenging to play against is the main line. So all right. So it likes Knight E5. Let's do Knight E5. Lila likes Knight E5. So Knight D5, usual. And now E4. F6, attacking Knight. Knight F3 back. Or Knight G4. Let's let Lila think about it for a little bit. Yeah. But again, I want to make sure that, everybody has a chance to join the show if you want to. Ask questions. You want to analyze with me the opening, you want to analyze another opening instead of the Catalan, just join. Feel free to join. Or if not, you can just be chatting in the chat and talk about what things are going on in the analysis your side. So if you're not, if you're camera shy or don't want to be the call, you can just be typing in what you want to say, and I'll read it. Okay, Knight F3. Let's do Knight F3. C6 is a normal move, looks like. Okay, B3 or 4. B3 is very normal. I see this in, let's say, Queen's Gambit accepted things. This is very normal. So it's CD, CB. Queen takes B3. A5. Then take on B5 twice, maybe. Yeah. Bishop B7, attack the queen, but we go back to C4 or B3. Okay, it's debating. Oh, no debate. All right, A4, pushing the pawn even further down the board. Queen D1 is safe. All right, and Bishop B5, maybe making the bishop more active. And Rook E1 to get out of the pin, this alignment of the bishop and the rook. Okay, Knight C6, let's say they develop. Knight A3, looks like it's, yeah, Knight A3, yeah. Takes an A3, they take back with the rook. Well, we take back with the rook. Queen D6, attacking the rook on A3. We go just back. Yeah, we go back. Yep. A3, let's say if they do pushing more forward. E4, attacking the knight and D5 from him. Knight B4. Okay. No. Queen B3, E5. Okay, it's debating. But this is not looking good for our advantage. So we lost something here. We made mistakes. So this is the point where we had advantage. So maybe I just played moves too fast. So All right, made too much fast moves. So maybe e4 here, or not a3. Let's let Leela think. Let Leela think about things in the future. I just played too many moves so fast, and I had to. All right, chess. Is this chess base or first? It's chess base. That's chess base. Chess base 16. We're learning how to play the Catalan using the, let's say, Super GM grade Leela engine that Fabiano Caruana uses, Wesley So uses, and also Levon Aronian uses to prepare for their openings against Super Grandmasters, playing against Super Grandmasters. So there's a top-notch engine to help us to learn the Catalan opening to be, let's say, Super Computer Engine confirmed. So that way we don't play this and not know what the results are. So, yeah, learning, and also let this, particularly this stream, it lets people join the stream, like using my link here, and people can talk about other openings besides the Catalan. But because before people want to talk about openings, I want to just talk about my own openings. I'm trying to create a Catalan repertoire from start to finish. So we're working on this line earlier. It's basically early, let's say takes into g4 lines, I think. Yeah, it's like king queen. It's queen's gambit accepted. Let's say if e4 happens now, instead of knight e3. They go knight b6 to waste tempos a little bit. And now, okay, d5 is a new move. That's a good new move. So let's let Leela think about it. I learned to not rush the engine. Let it think to make sure this is the right move. Knight c3 is a move. Okay. What is the success rate of for Catalan? It's really big, really big. The top players uses it. It's really Magnus Carlsen uses it, and a bunch of my other friends uses it. I use it myself to beat, let's say, really strong players and over the board games. So it's my go-to weapon. It's really solid, and I get really good positions all the time. And try to play for the win. You have an advantage, lasting advantage. Even it doesn't matter who you're playing against, you have a good advantage in the opening. So you want to be thorough though. So is the LC thorough the strongest engine these days? Maybe not. Maybe something like called Alpha Zero, but it's not commercially available. So Alpha Zero is more stronger than Leela, but Leela is like, let's say, a little sibling of this Alpha Zero. It's a neural network engine, so it's really more human-like play. More human-like play. It's strong too. Yo, everyone here is invited to. Okay. 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 Hold it. All right. This one. Yeah, sorry about that. I did it what I must. Yeah. Sorry for the spam, guys. But, we're just trying to learn chess and not be spammed. But yeah, so now I think that Leela is debating between these moves. I think of myself, I wanted to make sure my pieces in general are better developed, maybe with tempo, knight c3 attacking the bishop, and then this is looking fun. This one, knight c3 is looking good. They go bishop g4. We take on a4 maybe, yeah. But then they take on d4. So maybe before we do knight c3, maybe just over protect d4, then knight c3, and then take on d4. This is really, I think, the crucial point, but they go bishop b4. At least Leela says bishop b4 will happen. Knight b2. Okay, developing things still. We're still predicting this twice. They can't take in d4. That's a good thing. Nobody will play King h8 unless they're using an engine and cheating. So, but at this point, I think that we're developing the pieces. They have a passed pawn, but we have a center. We have a strong center. So maybe, like, for example, if I were to play against Leela as black, let's say experiment. If I was playing Leela as black, this one, how can I play as black? If no engine assistance, it'll probably be really hard. And if I just let's say not rook b8, let's say development like connected to the rooks. Let's say queen e7, then Leela will do 1, 2, 3. Leela, d5, d5 me because the rook alignment of the queen is crucially bad. So this is a rook alignment. Queen is definitely bad for black. I think I already made a mistake. Queen e7 is not a move, maybe. So I didn't like this position. So this 3. I did not know the queen 7 is like a natural move, and yeah, even if you could that perspective, that white is generally better to be playing as this position. So I'll say that white is much easier to play and has a psychological okay, so it's like so it has a stable edge with possible d5 breaks. Okay, all right, that's the conclusion of this one. So I was trying to play against Leela one move and I just got busted. So yeah, I got busted. So this is, if you can do that and you have games that people just get destroyed, that's really good. All right, so it's like, do you suggest any memory techniques? There's actually there's a video on YouTube I'll be coming out. It's gonna be coming out in the future, maybe next month. Some things like basically there's something like called mnemonic devices and also memory palaces, ways to help you to memorize things better because of pattern recognition. So basically, if you have, let's say, take a break from let's say, looking at this Catalan, maybe. Let's say if I can do example, show you guys and learn. And it's an educational thing. So this is a end of the line here. So I can take a break for this one for now. But if I go new page, hopefully I can just like yeah. So basically, I'll show you an example here. So I recommend you have a mnemonic devices. So especially it helps you visualize things and think about things in the future. Let's have me set up a position like this, and let's just do an arbitrary position like this. Okay. So yep, this is one. This is a basically arbitrary thing. We can have more pieces with less pieces. We can do knight c6. We can do b1. So something like this. It's like a mnemonic device. You could say, all right, if I wipe every piece off the board and say, okay, Tiberian, recreate this position. I wiped out all the pieces of the board. There's minor pieces. There's kings. There's pawns. A lot of pawns. All the pawns of the board. Nobody has trade out all the pawns, all 16 pawns on the board. How can you possibly memorize all of this position? Using a mnemonic device that says, okay, I know how to play this like Alpine Sicilian. Okay, this is Sicilian. Also, Sicilian is a dragon Sicilian. Look like the pawn structure Sicilian. You know the pawn structure. You only need to know the details of where the pieces are and if they're good. You can see that this assessment. This knight in b1 is terrible. It can be better. Maybe d3 and maybe d2. Maybe. But things like that is a memorization things. Mnemonic devices like, oh, pawn structures. I know pawn structures. This is I can memorize this in my head. So we're creating this, like, if I wipe all the pieces of the board and saying, okay, I know the pawn structure. I only had to memorize the kings are the same like same file. Normal places, nothing unusual. The only unusual things are the pawn h3. The next placements are b2, f3, and there's a knight h6, bishop g7. So if I were to exercise and say, okay, I want to recreate the board exactly like this, I just like a new one. So let's say if I just go back to this one, okay, I'll just recreate the board exactly like this. If you see this, like, are you seeing this one? You see this, like, yeah, the C mini board. I'll just recreate the exact position that we saw from scratch. Knight b1. White is done after this one. White is done. So now black has a bishop b7, knight c6, and black has a dragon structure. So nothing unusual here. And then boom, done. We have visualized everything that we created the board from start to finish because I have mnemonic devices. I know that the only unusual thing is the h3 pawn, which usually in the Alpen h3 is a little particular set that people don't usually do, but maybe it's a prophylaxis move from guarding against bishop b4. I don't know, but things I can memorize. But you see this match, like, it's a mnemonic method. I use pawn structures to help me visualize and memorize what things are. Like the blindfold game, I know this is a thing, so I was able to recreate the board. Okay, this one is like a black is too many pieces on the queen side and white is on the king side with no passers. Black needs to. Okay, so but basically it's a long-winded answer for that tiebreaker, and hopefully it's helpful. Though maybe it's not what you're looking for, but this is a there's a actual video I'll be publishing next month. Is basically A to B getting better visualization from beginner to master, basically that. So hopefully this is a one of the, like, a portion of this is basically using mnemonic devices and also a compensation. Compensation is people that are blind, like legally blind, they can play chess because they have tactile ability to feel the pieces. They can see there's pegs on the pieces. They can see, oh, this piece is this knight or this queen or this one. They compensate the inability to see, but because they can feel, they compensate. For us, we can say in our heads, not to say loud, but say in our heads the variations. Like they go knight c3, they go takes on d4, we take on d4, and after this one, we go knight e5, the castle, we take on f7. If it doesn't sound right, okay, scratch that variation. It doesn't sound right, do it again, say it again, better, and make sure, oh, it sounds really good to myself. Maybe I can play it on the board. So everything that you can do, compensation, and visualize everything, as much help you need to. Mnemonic devices, memory palaces, maybe talking about the variation in your head. Things are do it all and have the basically able to have it easier to memorize the things. And if you need help, a lot of things to, let's say, strategize, like memory strategies, do them all if you need it. So visualization is a lot, but sometimes all we need to do is be able to remember the verses. Yeah, exactly. So people, even beginners, know how to memorize and visualize chess. Even beginners, really, people that are really just getting into chess, ground zero. People know chess at a very basic level. They know how to play the limit system. Okay, play a game. Go. Okay, I know how to play this one. Okay, I'm not scared. I know the bishop goes there, and I know I can do knight e3 or just e3 or just knight f3. This one is fine. And now I'll just do c3. This one is fine. And they just play this like robotically, like nothing is happening. So they can do this one, this one, this one. They can go to b6 there. This one, let's say queen c2. This one, rook c1. Yeah, And this is basically, if you think about it, it's 11 moves. The beginner visualizes 11 moves from ground zero, from this to this. They already thought ahead 11 moves. If you think about it, that is really impressive. Like, oh, I'm a beginner. I can think about 11 moves ahead. That's awesome. That's awesome. Truly awesome. That's basically the stepping stone from the first place to visualize 11 moves ahead because they know where pieces go in the opening. So there's different variations about this, but very ground zero basics. People know where pieces go by the opening. It's like the visualization sometimes helps with memory. Sometimes helps with memory. And memory helps you memorize where pieces are in your head. Use memorization techniques to visualize things ahead. Because if you don't remember where things are when you visualize things in your head, then you completely miss the point of thinking ahead. It's like, oh, I forgot the pawn was there. And have you ever played, let's say, a blindfold game where you forgot there's a piece there, let's say some move ago? You have to memorize the piece was there, or else you're going to say, oh, I got checked. I don't know this thing there. But you have to remember everything because you can't see, memorize every positional of this, like every piece, or else you get, let's say, blasted. That'll be not good. So basically, they go hand in hand. Visualization is usually like hand in hand with memorization. So this is again compensation techniques. If you don't, even though if you can't physically see the end result, you can have yourself have some help. Let's say strategy to memorize things better and visualize things better, both of them. Exactly. I lost many games. I forgot where the pawns are. All the pawns are because they've been moved and they block checks. They block avenues, and it's terrible. But you have to memorize where the pawns are. If they go d4, memorize. Make sure you don't forget the pawn moved d4. Don't make sure the avenues are there, and you're attacking a lane that's not like accessible for you. You just got to know it. But again, hand to hand, it's not exclusively one or the other. Both of them are just complementing each other. It's not either or, it's both. If you're good at memory, you're going to be good at visualization. If you're really good at visualization, then you got to be good at memory. Sometimes, but you know what? Like I said in the earlier example, the London system, it's not really memory, but it's pattern recognition. So if you remember the patterns of the London system, you just play whichever. Let's say they can do different moves for black, but you just say the same pattern, do the same pattern, right? And I played against this year. I played against a guy that's really good at London system opening, and he always plays this exclusively, the London system. And I lost the bishop, but I came back to draw the game. So he was able to, win a bishop in the sense in the opening, but in the sense that he just had pattern recognition, and you recognize the patterns because it's even still we can just say that people are good at tactics because they have recognized the patterns of what is a fork, what is a skewer, what is a pin, things like that. They have a memorization or like a pattern recognition. Oh, I've seen this before. This is a pin. This is a fork. This is a skewer. Then they recall instantly. This is what is better than for the humans than the computers. Like let's say the computer human matchup. The humans are really, really good at instant recall, not even a millisecond, instant recall. They can recall things like just instantly. Memorize, like the computers has to like see the position, assess it for like a split second, and then okay, now assess it. But humans is no seconds, just like instantly. Pattern recognition is built to the brain. Drill down. But yeah, maybe it's most of it is memorized if it has a theory standpoint. For example, if you play the Najdorf Sicilian or things are really theory intensive openings, then memorization is really a big part of it to make sure you have a good position. But there's other many openings that this is not really as much like memorization theory as much of the patterns and thematic things of the opening. You can say that first defense that you and I play the first defense. There's a lot of patterns we can draw from. We do the c5 and f6 pawn breaks. Usually, if they go overextending, the white pieces do, and also then sometimes we know that the bishop goes on e7, d7, nice r6, c6. Could we go to b6 sometimes? And yeah, we have pattern recognition. Pattern recognition didn't memorize, but we have based on our brain the patterns of the opening. So the patterns is basically trumps memorization. It's basically drilled into our psyche where the pieces go and when. But if you play the Najdorf, it's really exceptions everywhere. Every citizen turn, you want to make sure that, oh, this is really good right in particular this moment. Not this one, but the other one. So, but yeah, there's a difference between instant recall, and let's say theory memorization, things like that. So let's go back to the Catalan, by the way. So, but good questions. So let's go back to back to London. Okay, did I close this one? Okay. And let's do the back to the present the okay, share screen. Let's go back to the Catalan. Oh, London system? Okay, this is a London opening, so I want to do the Catalan. Hold on. Be patient with me. So okay, Catalan. Okay, this is the one. Share, present, share, window. This is the Catalan. Okay, very good. Go back to chat. Say agree with the pattern, but if I forget the right moves against a sharp variation, I burn a ton of time trying to solve the board. Okay, that's the thing. It's like sometimes people like to be, let's say they resort to sharp positions that make your opponent think and lose on time, or lose time at least. All right. So see you later tomorrow. Yeah, Deborah, I'll see you tomorrow for sure at 11 a.m. So that'll be 11 a.m. my time. So I'm New York State. So yeah, but yeah, exactly. If it's sharp variations, you have to take time because every position counts. If you do the wrong move in the Najdorf, for example, you're gonna be, let's say, -5 for your side. You're not gonna be really good. You're losing a piece, or the position in general, you're gonna be terrible. But you have to do taking step by step, basically walking on a tightrope all the way through the Najdorf. The Najdorf tightrope, I'll say. They have to make sure you don't fall. So, but that's particular for the opening. But there's a lot of openings that don't do that. They have recognizing patterns in the flow of the middle games. Basically the relay race I told you in the last stream we did is a relay race that the openings that bring to the middle games you want to desire to be, and the middle games bring to the end games you want to end with. So, for example, if you're a Sicilian player, then you can have the Sicilian end game to win as black. So also the Caro-Kann. There's Caro-Kann end games that the Caro-Kann is favorable for black. So people play this Caro-Kann opening because the end games are so good for black. So they choose the Caro-Kann. So yeah, things like that. So a relay race. Opening brings the middle games they want to do to ultimately go to the end games. You want to desire to be better and win the game. Okay, so back to, let's say this going back to the openings in this London system. No, Catalan. Sorry, Catalan. Let's do this Catalan. So, we talked about. Yeah, we talked about bishop 2. Okay, we talked about. Yeah, we talked about all these things. I want to make sure that we get to where we were before. Bishop 4. This is the one. Yeah, this is the one. We did bishop b7, and now let's see the other ones. Bishop d2, c2. So let's go Titan d2 and talk about this one. Restart Leela. Restart Leela. Okay. And now, all right. Now Leela's beginning to fire it up. Fire it up. So, all right. Oh, sorry about that. Need to go back to this one. Takes into 2. All right. So maybe not. Okay, knight b2. Knight b2, not knight ft2. This is a really important thing to do. Distinguish knight b2. And maybe you can also have the database of what people play. Most of all, they go castling. So let's see. Okay, knight b2, b2. This one. So they keep castling most of all by big margin. So they castle. Pick up bishop b2 or rook c1. Okay, I like bishop b2. Let's have Leela think about it. Debate between the two moves. Debate between the two moves. But yeah, just want to make sure that everybody has a chance to. If you want to join the stream and talk about different openings of the Catalan, then you can join me. Or you want to just talk about the Catalan in general, you can join the show. If not, you can watch me do Leela analysis. And the ultimate goal is to create a Catalan opening repertoire that is Leela approved, the Super Leela approved. This engine was created and designed for super grandmasters, the top grandmasters in the world. So they use this all the time. These super computers, super chess engines to thoroughly research the openings to be very precise, very correct. So that'd be the gift for you to have this be thorough. All right, back to let's say Leela decision, and Leela decides to go either one. I'll just do bishop b2. It's the most popular. Why not? Bishop 2 is fine. Okay, knight b7. All right, knight b7. Also, we can do b6 as well. Let's look at c6 as well. Let's look at all three. Let's do knight b7 first. We go castles. Okay, maybe things are transposing. So let's say c6, queen c2. Looks familiar. Rook e8. e4 looks fun for us. That and rook c1, rook c1. Let's do e4. I play this one in games. It's good for white. f6, queen c2, queen. So you see this like really big advantage. It's a really big advantage for white. So it's not really good for black. So you could do anything. So let's say it's like white is clearly better. All right. So I can leave this to the imagination. All right. So all right, this one. Okay, so this one. Okay, is it? All right, let's see c6 first. Castles. Let's do other variations. No, let's say they don't. Okay, everybody uses one. It's like okay, transposes. Just simply transposes. All right, b6. Castles again. Let's save the bishop b7. Difference maybe this one. Rook c1. Knight b7. Let's say if they go queen e7, this is like what Leela is suggesting black does. So let's see queen e7. Queen e7. Let's see. It's debating between moves. Let's let Leela think about it for a little bit. Think about it for a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Rook e1, knight e5. Rook e1 is alignment with queen, so maybe that one's good. Yeah, it looks like Lila likes alignment of the queen and the rook for white. That's natural. They go c5. Lila and the people like to do this one. Takes d5 and takes c5. So let's see. I think this is a more popular way to go. Taking d5. They can do. Oh, they have to do knight e takes d5. The one game is like this one. It's like only move. But we'll just talk about why this is not so good. This knight takes d5 native variation is not so good because they took on c5. Taking c5, they can't take with this ugly pawn. So let's highlight this one as a problem. And if they do bishop takes d5, the version is basically the same thing, right? Just taking c5. Oh no, e4, even worse. Oh, e4 happens. E4 happens. Bishop b7, e5. Whoa, e5 is really good for white now. Knight d7, and not e4. Yes, really bad. And yeah, this is a really, really big advantage. White is clearly better. Sorry for the caps, but yeah, just making sure that we know that this is only this one is a way to go. Only this one. So let's see. E4 takes into d5. Let's let Lila think about it for a little bit. For a tiny bit. Tiny bit. All right, I will do in this case e4. This alignment, the queen and rook. Why not just exploit this one? D6 d4. Oh, d6 d4, not knight takes d4, but d6 d4. And now knight g5 things. Let's see. Maybe knight h4, but let's think. It's like okay, this takes in c5 is the main move because the c pawn will be isolated. Yeah. Knight c6. There's a lot of sacking the pawn moves. Really sacking the pawn moves, and it's really it's good for white. It's really good for white. It's like national taking c5 was not the most attractive move, but I'll say that this one is to conclude. It's like a white has an easier game. Okay. All right. So let's go back this one. So basically, we covered all this things about bishop before, I think, right? Yep, we did that. So let's go back to this line if we have missed any things that are important. Okay, it's like maybe there's a variation that we had bishop b7 that we didn't talk about. So bishop b7. Okay, we talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah. So it transposes things like yeah. All right, so we did talk about bishop b4 check, and then bishop b7. Okay, this is one. So we talked about. Oh, we didn't talk about c6. Okay, c6, queen c2. Let's say transposes. Okay, transposes. Okay, this is a common thing. Okay. Talked about takes d4, c6, knight b2. Let's see if they go this way. Okay, this is all covered. Okay. Just make sure that we get thorough before we move on. Okay. All right. Okay, we're good to go. All right. Now, this point. Okay, bishop before there. All right, we have all these moves. Let's say a5. We'll look at 5 in a moment. I'll be back, like maybe 20 seconds. Okay. All right, I'm back. All right, I'm back. All right. All right, this is a5, another move we can talk about. All right, today's stream is basically about dealing with bishop b4 check and all the variations of this opening. This is a variation, rather. The variation is the variation, so yeah. This one is like, what software is this? This is a chess base. You're talking about the streaming, the streaming thing, or the thing I'm just moving the pieces on. This thing is chess base, and the streaming is StreamYard. So if you want to have okay, chess base and stream, yeah, yeah. I said it. If you want to have a look at StreamYard, I can give you a link for you guys to, let's say, a referral link to get this this, let's say, going to get this streaming software. Is really easy. It's really good, very efficient. So I like to use it. So this is a StreamYard link. You can use it for yourself. Yeah. And StreamYard is what you use to, let's say, play the moves, and use Leela, Super Leela, to, let's say, look at the positions in chess. So enjoy the StreamYard, and you can stream in multi-stream. You can stream on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, like I do. You can also do things like more LinkedIn, Instagram. There's a lot of things you can do all at the same time, depending on the plan, of course. Yeah. All right. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy this streaming software and you can use it. All right, this one, okay. Okay, this is a main line is castles. Castles here. Wait, castle or queen c2? Okay, castle or queen c2. Let's think a little bit. But yeah, we're talking about how to play against the fourth move for black, bishop b4 check in the Catalan. And if we get it done with this bishop b4 check, I'm going to do other variations still. We talked about the main lines before. We talked about the d6 c4 lines, bishop b7 lines. Now we're doing bishop b4 check lines. So another big chapter of the Catalan, how to play against it. So we can do, I think that this is Catalan like little like queen c2. So let's do it. c5 is the main move by far. So c5. Okay. Takes in d5. Taking d5. Makes sense. Taking d4. Oh wow, this is really interesting. So taking d4. Maybe another one to talk about is maybe this check, but it's not really popular. Just knight b2. No problem. Taking d4. Knight to d4. And yeah, that's not really good. Let's say they take a d5 with knight, then we castle. So white is fine, right? They go e5. Let's say if they go e5, saying I want to get my bishop out. Knight b5. Okay, knight b5 is killer. Looks like knight b5 is really killer for white to use against black. So white is clearly better. Okay. So the main move was to take on d4 first of all. Now we do knight d4. Oh, queen b6 is interesting. They go queen b6 most of all. The difference here. So we go e3, maybe defending the knight an extra time. So let's e3. takes in d5 with a pawn, like the similar to the other one. We go castles, getting the out of the pin of the bishop. Knight c6. Everybody plays this way in this database. Knight takes c6. Okay, makes sense. They take the b pawn. Rook c1, attacking the c6 pawn with the queen, 2 for 1. So they had to defend this guy somehow. Most popular move is sack the pawn, but let's see, maybe this one I'll still look at both of them. So let's do bishop b7. That's more human looking to me. I think that most people I see that will not do rook b8, maybe. So knight c3 happens. h5 is really weird. Really weird. I'm not doubting it will be played, but I will not. I think that I'll see a lot of people play h5 over the board. For me, it's like a rook fb8. Maybe rook ab8 is more natural looking. When knight a4 happens, queen a7 to defend the queen. Takes to b4. Takes b4. Knight c5. Something like that one, or a3 b3. Let's let it think. Let it think. So no rushing. No rushing at all. Alright, let's do b3. Looks like it's the main thing to make sure the queen is not babysitting the pawn, and I can go c5 and no worry about the b pawn anymore. h5. Okay, let's do h5 because it's insisting on h5 is the move that people play, and also the engine likes it. So knight c5 still, but I like white. White is just certainly better to me, and I don't. It's like I would say that white has an edge and the easier game. So I can just put a stop to that. So this line is weird. So let's go look at the rook b8 move. So don't forget this one. Knight c3 is still the move. Okay, h5 is most popular, so let's do this. h5. Okay, a3 this time. Okay, a3. I would think that b3 transposing is a move, but maybe it's like provoking him to take on c3, and then we do bishop takes c3. Like basically, the thing is, I think that if it go a3 now, they go there, and we take the bishop, and that defends the pawn. They have the bishop better. In this sense, the bishop pair will be good for us. So a3. Bishop e7, they go back, so they don't take on c3 like we want them to. So now knight e4, it's the same thing. So basically, you take the queen, maybe knight c5 happens, but let's say queen c7, okay? Still defend the pawn, so they can't go queen a7 because this pawn is be hanging, so they go this way. Now we can go h4, I think, right? Maybe h3? Let's say h4, yeah, it's fine. Rook e8, bishop c3 to get the bishop better. Bishop e6 developing the bishop. Bishop d4 looks really good for white. Knight g4. Okay, knight g4 makes sense to me. Oh, this is like a... Okay. Let's let Leela think about it for a little bit. Just have a lot of things to think about. Hey, Sparry. Studying openings? Yeah, particularly the Catalan opening. We're talking about the Catalan opening and using Leela, Super Leela engine that Fabiano Caruana uses it. Wesley So uses it, and Lavon Aronian uses it for Super GM opening prep. So I'm using this Leela engine from Chessify to study openings. So this stream is about learning about openings in the Super engine, Super GM studying level. So yeah, we're learning about the Catalan Leela approved. Super engine Leela approved. So how are you doing, Sapari? Nice to see you. Okay. So I think that now, if you think about it, Leela thinks about it, then bishop f3 is a move that likes particular. Okay. But now knight g4 is maybe looking silly being there. It says queen d6, maybe getting out alignment of this rook and queen. Yeah, something like this one. Yeah, that's. By the way, this is not a free pawn. If it is this one, it's not a free pawn. Not a free pawn. So don't even think about this because this one there and bishop b7, right? Yeah, bishop b7 is like a alignment of the bad thing. So for the people in the audience, you can't take this pawn for free. It's not free. It's a poison pawn. Poison pawn. But now knight c5 is a better option. The better option to do. So now I just want to make sure that we know and realize that this pawn will be not free. So this poison pawn. So yeah, bishop f6, maybe trying to turn the bishops off. Okay. Okay, rook d1 maybe. Maybe rook d1. This looks fun. Bishop c8 it's really weird to me. Maybe. Well, let's give it a chance. I think that may be more natural to take this bishop to myself. Maybe I'm ignorant. A takes d4. Wow. A takes d4. Maybe avoiding this sack on d3. So the sack I'm talking about is this one. Take this one. It'll be annoying. So this is a method. All right, maybe that's not the way. Well, this is fine. It's fine. It had a spike of disapproval, but now it's like, oh, it's okay. Knight 6. Now rook e1. And yeah, knight e4. Bishop e4 maybe. Yeah, getting the bishop straight off. Straight off. Take there, take there. Oh, the ace takes there, not the knight. Okay, either war. Okay. Basically, I think this one is maybe the main move. Yeah, rook ac1. So I think that's white is easier to play. I'll say that. These are annotations. Okay. From perspective. Okay. Okay. This is basically the sum up of this one, the a5 move. Okay, other ones. We had to talk about bishop g6. The last one, I lost this line as white. I had a game last year, and the guy played bishop g6. I think that was last summer, maybe last spring. He played a bishop g6 line, and I lost this game as white. So I need to know how to play against this one. So this one is a crucial thing. Okay, bishop g2. C6 is like I'll just do this both of them, c6 and also castle, covering both. So let's do c6, most popular. Okay. Okay. So basically, it's Super Leela says castle's okay. It's basically on par for the top move. Nice bishop c3, but I think that castle's more natural. Knight b7, most popular as well in the database. Queen c2 is number 3, unless bishop c3, Leila's favorite move. b3 as well. I think b3 I've played before. I played before myself this way in a lot of games. So maybe b3 is more natural to me. Maybe to you guys too. Knight e4, knight c3, f5 is small Dutch national moves. Then rook c1, queen c2. Maybe rook c1 is, let's say, the move I would play here. Yeah, rook c1. Castles. Bishop before. Oh, I've seen this one before. Bishop f4 is a thematic thing in this, say, Dutch, solo Dutch defense. Take this way, this way. There's 2 knights and f6, the defending e4. But now, knight e5 happens, so this is a problem. So maybe more natural is other moves like queen e7 or b6. Rook f6 is really not in the top 4, so I'm not gonna look at that one. Queen e8 is also another move that I see sometimes. So let's do b6. Takes d5. E3 is also good. Let's let Leela think about it for a little bit. Leela, think about it, please. But this is the last line for the bishop to the b4 check. And if you guys want to see more Catalan, we'll do another variation of this Catalan opening. So we covered in the past streams about the take on c4 lines, bishop e7 lines, and now we did bishop b4 check lines. So we'll do other ones after this one. If you're still interested to see more Catalan opening theory to max by Leela approved. So let's see what does Leela says. It says I'd like to do this d5. And maybe it's basically I see this the Mac thing is like if they do b6, take this pawn d5. Okay, this they could do this one or this one. Let's just talk about both. Let's see t6 d. Knight b5. Okay, it's natural looking things. Knight b5 is more let's see intimidating. Queen 7. a4. a4. Okay. Maybe, wait. Maybe knight e5 looks more natural. Maybe no more natural to me. So knight takes there. D takes. Oh, D takes is the only move. Only good move. Bishop d7. Knight d4. Okay, so basically a square for the knights. That's why they do D takes. To clear the way for the knight to go d4. Okay. Let's show the point. This one, knight d4, is the point. Okay, rook a8. Let's let Leela think about it more again. Okay. So Leela says, after this, thinking about it for like a minute, it says bishop takes e4, or rook takes c8, and e3. Nobody games novelty territory. Nobody has gone this far in theory of games. That's a particular variation, maybe transposing, but not really. I don't like to take an e4 with a bishop. It's really getting rid of the light square. Bishop is crucial for the light square's defense of the king. I would think that maybe e3 is more to the game of chess. So e3 is my move. Let's see. Let's think about things. Okay, there's yeah, no. No, a3. Just do this one, Leela, please. Okay, a6 is basically passing the move. Rook c5 maybe. Oh, then b4. Putting the question of the rook. So yeah, so I think that white is just white is generally better with an easier position. Simply because if you compare the bishops, our bishop is more normal than this catacombed bishop in e7. So yeah, that would be that. Is that. Okay, that is that. Okay, is this we did this one. Bishop b6. Okay, the castle's there. We castle if they castle or queen c2. Okay, castles. Maybe queen c2. Most people play castles, but let's do innovative things. Queen c2, c6, and this transposing, right? Castles. Knight c3. Okay, knight c3. Transposing. So it's basically cutting down the study time for us. So this is the way to go. All right, very good, very good. Now, all right. So for the people in the audience, let me know if you want to study this Catalan some more. Can somebody say yes? Study more Catalan. If not, we'll end the stream. Does anybody in the audience want to still learn some more Catalan and just look at deeper today, or do you want to see you guys another time? Does anybody in the audience want to say yes? Do more in the Catalan? Yes. Okay. Very good. So do another Catalan things. Okay. Let's see the opening lines we talked about. Bishop b7, c6 takes in c4. Let's see the opening book. Okay. c5. Let's talk about c5 now. c5 now. But yeah, c5. Make sure that we just cover this one thing before I just go over the other line. Yeah, we talked about this one. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Now we go to c5, the Tarrasch line. All right, Tarrasch line. So now c5. Tarrasch. It's called the Tarrasch setup. Okay, we take on d5. They take on d5 with a pawn. And that was talk about like taking knight as well. And also taking d4. But let's talk about the most popular move. Take us to the pawn d5. Maybe 2. Knight c6. Maybe this other moves. Basically by far, knight c6. Castles. There, bishop b7. Knight c3 or d6 c5. Let's let Leela think about it for a little bit. Let's let Leela. So I think about this for a little bit. Okay. All right. It looks like it's looking like it likes taking c5 first of all. Let's abide by the wishes of Leela. Take on c5. Bishop takes c5. Now a3. But you know, a3 is normal. It's looking normal. Castles, and also the knight e4 move, right? Knight e4 is another move. Let's see. This castles first. Let's do recursively looking the most popular moves and just go back to the, let's say, less popular moves. Bishop b6, bishop b7 is the move they can do. Let's do this most popular move, bishop b6. And now knight c3 is a move. Also bishop b2. Let's do transposing to the main move. Okay. a6 is a move. Rook e8 is a move. Let's look at book. Let's look at h6 defending against bishop b5 pins. Bishop b2 happens. Rook e8 is just like transposing, but also this bishop b6 move. Let's look at rook e8 first. Knight e4 looks really, really good for white. Bishop 7. Bishop 7. Rook c1. Okay. Knight e5. Knight takes e5. Bishop takes e5. And that's basically, if you're playing, if you're trying to play against the isolated pawn, you want to trade things down to have a better endgame. Okay. Knight c3 or e3. Let's let Leela think a little bit. Let's let Leela think about it a little bit. Make sure we have Leela's approval. No rushing. You can think about Leela. Okay. Okay. Looks like e3 is most popular. Leela likes it the most. A little by a little bit. So let's do that one. Bishop f5 is most played. queen d4. Okay, queen d4, knight c3 from Leila says another move. Okay, queen d4, rook e7, knight c3 is basically transposing. Maybe it doesn't make a difference. Queen e7, rook e7, queen e7. So let's say queen e7, also rook e7 is another move. It's like there's the other one, that narration, knight c3. Oh, h4 is not anymore. Knight c3. Override it. Rook e7, defend. Rook e7. It's like this one is like, okay, this is maybe a move. Maybe a move. It's a narration. So this one. 25. Doesn't look like it's not as attractive as rook fd1 to myself. So optically, I'd like this one better. Rook c8. Let's see. 2. Bishop 2. Rook d2. Bishop f5 back is like a wasteful tempo move. Now, take there, queen takes h3, knight e4. Okay, rook h3, knight e4. Rook d1. Maybe this is not the best. So let's see. The other one, this one is like this one. Rook d7. Maybe queen e5. Like maybe this line is a better one because you attack the bishop in the 5. So simply, this one is better. So I'll delete this one. So, okay, Control Y, delete version. Okay. Save it. Make sure we get the queen e5 line. Take the bishop. Bishop e6, maybe defending the pawn extra. Knight e2 to going to d4. This is a good plan, usually. That is the best blockader of isolated pawns. Yeah, so vice is generally better. White is generally better with a lasting edge. Okay. Alright, this is that one. So let's do the queen e7 line. Queen e7 line. Rook f1. Let's c5 as well. Let's let Leila think about it for a little bit. Let Leila think about it for a little bit. Okay. Let's see if rook f1 has something, anything. Bishop b4 happens, e3. Oh, the point of this one is to protect e3. So let's say over protecting the e3 pawn. And the purpose is why it's protecting is this one, f3 is possible. And bishop f5, and the pawn is defended by the rook and the queen. So we don't have to worry about things like this. And now knight c5. And now white has good edge. So, okay. So rook e8. Let's do one more thing. Rook e8. Troubling up in this one. Rook c3. Rook c3. No. Defending this 3 times. b6. Take the knight. Knight 6. Oh, knight 6. Okay, knight 6 happens. Maybe knight c7 is coming in. Yeah, rook c8, rook ac1. Oh, so rook c8, rook ac1. All right, take this. Okay. Yeah. What has again a lasting edge? Okay, easy to play. Okay, overall, saying it's easy to play is white, and it's a long-lasting endgame advantage. So that's good. All right, so will this one concludes this one line? Let's take out this one. Bishop b6 is a line. Bishop b6 here. Okay, bishop b6, knight e4, knight e4, queen a3. Maybe rook c1 is looking unusual. This opening. Queen a3 is mystery to me. Maybe just defending against bishop f5 things. But yeah, let Leela think about it a little bit. Leela think a little bit about it. Okay. Let's do rook c1. Rook c1 is natural to me. Rook e8, and also knight e4, and then move. Let's do knight e4. New variation. Knight e4. e3. Yeah, e3. Just to clog up the d4 square. Rook d8. Queen d3. Knight c3. Bishop takes c3. Oh, queen takes c3. Okay, it's trying to thread the mate. Okay, trying to thread the mate. d4. Knight takes d4. Knight takes d4. And then you just lose a pawn, right? Yeah, clearly better. Bishop d5. White is up a pawn. Simply. Okay. So that's knight e4 is a funny move. Okay. But now this one worked knight e4. Like we've seen before. Knight e4. e3. Oh, thematic moves. Okay. a6. Queen a3. Usual move. Bishop a7. Maybe discard the bishop. Knight c3. Knight c3. Queen c3. f6. Queen a2, because we induced the weakness in the king side. Rook c8. And rook f d1. Bishop queen d7. Bishop d4. Takes there. Knight takes there. Bishop d4. Attacking the rook. Rook e1. White has a lasting edge. Alright. When I say lasting edge, it's easier to play, and this is a little bit better endgame wise. So, yeah, that's why I say lasting edge. So, yeah, this is a one things one. Yeah. So, back there. Bishop e7. Okay, bishop e7 line is we need to talk about that. Bishop e7. Okay. Okay, so knight c3. This is a little like better. Bishop e6. Bishop b2. Rook c8. Rook c1. Maybe rook c1 is more human to me. Queen e7. e3. Usual move we have here. Rook f8. And also knight e4. Let's do knight e4 first. a4. Knight e2. Okay, makes sense. Knight e2. Go to d4 with the knight. It's the destination square. Knight. Okay, bishop f6. And then we go bishop takes f6, knight takes f6. And now we go knight f4. Defending against this this one, defending h3, no bishop h3 things. So we can't do that as black. So they can go h6. And now we go queen d2 to connect the rooks. Rook fd8, maybe. b5? Oh, wow, b5. b5 is just crushing. Crushing. Knight e7. At d4, defend the b5 pawn. Bishop g4. h3. Bishop b6. This is a little bit silly. Now a4. White has a lasting edge. Okay, I like this one as white. Okay. Okay. So this is basically about bishop b7 things. So this okay. This bishop 7 is the only move. Let's say knight c6. Okay, this is the one we talked about. Taking d4. Let's talk about the taking d4 lines. Taking d4 instead of taking d5. Okay. Taking d4. What does white do? Maybe taking bishop g4 is a natural move. Bishop d2. Bishop g2, I mean. They can check us. They can do takes and queen takes d5. That's another move. They can do knight takes d5. They can do also queen a5. Let's talk about all of them. It's a long lot of variations. We'll just take them all out at one time. Take on d2, knight to d5. Let's take both. Like about both. Let's take d5. Let's do this one. Okay, knight to d4. They can castle. They can go queen b6. And also knight takes bishop b2. So let's do it. Well, again, we're doing the recursively. We'll just do the most popular first, and we'll just go back and just do everything else. Before that, was not as possible, not as popular rather. Okay, castles. I think a lot of things are going to be transposing to each other, so I can just save some time. Queen b6, takes b2. I think they're going to transpose the things. Just queen b6, taking d2. Let's say, okay, taking d2. We do queen takes d2. This is the worst version of this one. And they can go knight c6. They can do queen, this queen b6, queen e7 as well. All right. So knight b6 first. They would take this knight to give them eyes to pawns here. This is looking really, really good. So rook c1 is natural, very natural. So weakness. Let's highlight the weakness here. Okay. Queen b6, defend the pawn. Knight c3 or knight e3. Knight e3 looks killer to black. Knight e3. Bishop a6. Knight c4. Takes in c4, takes in c4. c5. No, let's see. Okay, c5. It's just like a c5, queen c2, rook ac8, a3 to block knight b4 things. No knight b4. Yeah, so white has a lasting edge. I need to copy this one and just like copy and paste it. Yeah, control, copy. All right, copy this one. Lasting edge again. So let's go back. All right, so it's like a taking d2. All right, so queen e7. queen e7. It will be, this one is really bad, knight for black. So we can do knight c3. Then takes c3, queen takes c3, e5, which is different things we can do. Queen e7 to pin the pawn. Pawn's pinned, so they can do rook, queen, maybe rook e8 is natural. Let's defend the queen. Taking d4 as a threat. So take this, just to pin. They can't take the knight because of the queen will be taken from black. So they go rook e8, defend the queen. Now we go, oh, this is so cool. Rook fc1. Because they did take this way. This is a blunder because they take on this way, there, and checkmate this way. This is really bad for black. All right, so now back here. This one there. Yep. And again, I'll just say, so it's like white has lasting edge. Yep. Okay. Queen b6. All right, queen b6 here. This version, queen b6 here. Okay, queen b6 here. This is an option taken before. This time, taken before knight b3 as well. Let's let Leila think about it a little bit. If it's not liking anything better between the two options. Okay, I'll say that Leila's top choice is knight b3. Okay, knight b3. Thankfully, Leila chose which is better to her. So knight c6 happens. Rook d8 and knight c6. Let's do both. So let's do rook d8 first. Then e4 happens. Attack the knight. d2, knight 6. Visit c2. Knight 1 takes d2. Knight b4 looks intimidating. Queen 2 defends. Oh, this is a mistake. We can't go queen e2. The one game move was a bad one. So we go queen h5. Oh, queen h5 is looking fun. A ride, a novelty, novelty move. Let's say they go bishop b7 to go probably this way. All right, knight c4. This queen c7 to defend the queen. So the knight was attacking the queen. So we'll go away from that attack. Okay, queen a5. I think that it wants to trade the queens. Okay. Interesting. Queen a5. What if they take the queen? It's really bad because if we do knight b takes a5. And yeah. This is this one. This is simply that one. Okay. Okay, going back to this one. All right, this one. Through this one. Okay, this queen b6 is another variation of this one. Line. Knight a3. Okay, this is we talked about this before. It's a mistake from black, novelty from whites, and yeah, this is the same thing we talked about earlier. Knight c4, attacking the queen b6. So let's say they go queen a6, attacking the knights, so attacking the knight with the queen rather. So this is attacked. So rook fc1, next makes sense. Knight c6, developing. Knight b3. We've seen this before. Maybe just going this way. It's a fork. The queen and the bishop. We'll win a bishop, at least. So queen b5 to get rid of the threats. e4 looks fun to us. Knight f6. Knight f6 rather. Knight d6 looks good too. Queen b6. Rook c5. Wow, it's really, I didn't see this one. Rook c5. Aha. Alright, let's just say this one. Lasting edge. Okay. So we talked about this one. Queen 7, of course. We talked about this Queen b6 line. Yeah. Queen b6 line. So we covered everything. Cover everything here. So let's go back to this is the end of the c takes d4 line. The end of it. So now we talked about we needed to knight takes d5. This is another one. Knight takes d5 and this Tarrasch setup. What to do as the black pieces, the white pieces. So knight takes d5, b2 and e4. Okay. So Lila and most people play bishop e2. They go knight c6. Takes d4 is another move that Lila likes particularly. Let's see. This one is like a. So we're doing knight takes d5. So this is the thing. Takes d5. There's only 2 moves. So knight c6. The other one was knight takes d4. It's a new variation. Let's talk about this one first. A castle. And then I go bishop e7 or bishop c5. Okay, let's do bishop c5 here. Knight d4, knight d4. The castles, knight b3, attacking the bishop, and c5. They go bishop e6 or bishop e7. Let's do both. Bishop e7 first. Okay, bishop e2. Let's do the main line. Everybody plays this is black knight c6. Okay. 8 out of 8 games play knight c6. Knight c3, developing this one. Bishop f6 or knight f6 or knight takes e3. All of the moves. Look up all of them. Let's do knight takes e3 first. Bishop takes e3 is natural looking. Queen b6 is popular by far. Knight d4 maybe. But then knight d4 is it's trading off things a little bit. Let's let Lila think about it a little bit. Lila, please think about it. What's the winner? What's the winner move? Knight to d4. Knight d4 is the winner. Knight b4 happens. A3 happens to get the knight back. Maybe knight d5 is more the point of this one. Knight f5, a cool move, taking the bishop on f5. So yeah, it's saying that if you do this one, guys, and there's doing intermezzo or Zwisch and Zug or in between move, there's a lot of ways to say this one, but it's winning from White's perspective. So they can't take the bishop. So they go bishop f6 in this case, and then we'll take on d5 for the bishop on g2. They take on d5, or let's say take on d5. Yeah, this is the only point. Just taking the f5 was silly, so take the queen takes there. Rook d8 tempos gained. Queen e4, queen e4, bishop f5, queen f5, 6 and c3, pawn takes c3. We lost advantage, so we have lost advantage here. So let's see what happened here. So this one. But we have an extra pawn though. It's like at the end of the day we have an extra pawn. So queen c6, queen c2, queen c8, queen c1. Yeah, this is again, this is not a free pawn. Not a free pawn because they'll lose after a move like takes in d8 there, and take the queen. White wins. So it's a trap thing. So rook f1. So white has so like white has the lasting edge. Okay, simply put it, it's like an end game, but it's lasting edge with the extra pawn, and it's a queen and rook end game. So okay. Alright, okay, this is okay, bishop f6. This bishop f6 move instead. Rook c1. Okay, rook c1. People play a5 for some reason. H5 makes sense. d4. Knight b3 back. Well, that's like makes no sense. So let's go back this way. c5 doesn't make sense to me. So maybe a3 is more to the point to just block b4 access from black. So promote it. If we go this way, back this one, control Y. Alright, this is a3. So they go, the point is a4, knight c5, better version. So yeah, knight c3, takes on c3, takes on c3, forces c3, queen e7, e5. That was like white is clearly better. Okay, by big sense. Knight f6 is the last one. Knight f6 is the last one is the line. Rook c1 the same move. That's a good thing to have pattern recognition. e5. Let's see. e5 happens. Bishop b3. Bishop b5 as well. Bishop b3. Bishop b6. Knight c5. Queen c8. Knight c6. Queen a4. We'll just say this one. So back to the line that we had here. We had here is like so there's a line that we had. Yeah, so this one. So we didn't have anything else covered. Okay, this is all covered. Okay, so now this is one we go bishop 7. Okay, we talked about this one. Okay, this is good. So bishop b6 we covered too. Oh, bishop b6. Oh, bishop b6 didn't cover. Bishop b6 is need to be covered. So that's good to check that we didn't miss anything. So bishop b6 has to be talked about. Okay. All right, bishop b6. Let's let Leela think. Okay. Okay, knight 3. Okay, knight 3. Okay. Knight c6. Main move by far. Knight c4. Bishop c7. Okay. Knight e3. Okay, let's see. Bishop 2 is cool looking. Queen e7. Rook c1. Okay, let's let Leila think a little bit. Let's let Leila think about it a little bit. Let's see. Okay. Rook C1 is a move, so let's do the most popular move. Rook D8. Everybody plays this in the database. Okay. Queen C2 getting out of alignment. Looks good, but it's Leela's edging towards more knight B8A5 or knight C8A5. So let's do knight AC5. Looks like it's good for me. This one, this one, this one, this one. B6, bishop B2, bishop B7, queen B3, H6, rook F1, rook FD1. Yes, makes sense. With a bishop pair, rook AC8, rook AC8. Okay. All right. Okay. Wait, it's the last thing edge after. Let's do the move first. Let's do the move first. So the queen A4 move, and then we do say this annotation. Okay, annotation here. Okay. Okay. With this being said, I think we maybe finish up all the trash. Let's see. Was it good? All right, so back here a little bit more. I already did all these things. Okay. Bishop B7 here didn't even cover bishop B7 here. That's a good thorough check. Knight takes D4 happens. Castles is the moves now is by far they go castles all the time. Okay, E4 can be 3. Let's do E4 because it's well B3. Let's do E4. It's fine. Knight B4 happens. C3 happens too. Knight E6. Knight C6. Knight takes C6. Bishop B3. 25. Queen B3. I was like, hold on. I was like, hold on. A3 maybe just blocking knight B4, bishop B4, queen B4 access. So rook D8, normal. Queen A2, bishop A6, B4. Okay, makes sense. Queen E5. Okay, this is nuts. Yeah. Knight D4. D4. B5. Oh wow, this one. Just let Lula think about it for a little bit. Oh, this does get 0.8 advantage, so this is a good thing for us. F4. Yep. Knight takes D3. Queen C6. Nice last thing edge. Okay. Okay. I'll try this one. Bishop 7. Alright. We talked about all of these things. This trash. Taking there. Okay. With that being said, I think that we covered bishop b4 check and c5 thoroughly. And I think that we'll be stopping right here for today. And hopefully you enjoy the stream. And I'll see you on next Thursday. So have a good day. And thank you for watching. And have a good day and weekend. Take care.